I wanted to share my thoughts about this because it's sort of an ephemeral story. You know, it's not really, it's not hard news or anything like that. But I think it's a really nice little story, human interest story, and of course, it's what the now well documented story of fans of their respective teams in their respective countries coming to the United States to watch their team play in the World Cup and experiencing America and experiencing unadulterated America and what we could call middle America, right? Experiencing small town America, not the America of that's presented to the world by the most prominent news journals, not the America that's presented to the world by CNN, or even by Fox News, for that matter. They're just going out and they're experiencing, American cuisine. They're going to they're looking at wide open spaces and thinking, wow, this is the American West. Look at all this countryside. Isn't it glorious? They're going to restaurants and like, wow, we can get as many refills as we want from this drink machine. They're going to stores of like what are they called? That sporting goods store that's like the hub of Red State America. I can't think of their name right now. The name is slipping my mind right now. But and seeing how they've got guns on sale, and they're like, whoa, look at these big guns. And it's all, and like there's videos of people, drive, like a guy from England like, I'm driving in a pickup truck through Texas, woohoo, and I'm going to Hooters. And it's very they're very endearing, they're very cute, and they seem really sincere, and there's a ton of them, like and again, it's not like this is a really big important story, but it is something that I think is notable. And what's especially notable is that the left, those who consider themselves to be on the left side of the aisle, they're not happy about it. There's this sour article that the Atlantic has put out, which shouldn't really be surprising. It's the Atlantic. What do we expect? Just sort of poo-pooing the whole thing, just saying, oh, they're just attention-seeking people. This isn't really, they're not really sincere. Like that. How do you know? But they've just come to that conclusion and said we shouldn't take this seriously at all. And of course, at the root of it all is that if you're on the left, you have to be anti-America. You have to, and not just anti the American government, which I am, not just anti-Washington, which I am, and not, as far as being against American foreign policy, I'm definitely not with America when it comes to its foreign policy. But as far as the America that exists, that has long existed and that still exists, the regular Americans going about their daily routine, and the way that we live here, there's something that still is real and vital, and that is charming about it, and that these foreign tourists have been totally taken off guard. A lot of them have said, I never expected this. I hear a lot about America. I never expected it to be like this. This is great, And this is a way that I think things have changed, because when I was in my youth, in the 70s or 80s, or even into the 90s, yeah, there was a side of the left that was anti-America, but generally speaking, you could be on the left and still be pro-America. Yeah, you didn't want to be like I mean, maybe there was some suspicion of, being, and I'm proud to be an American, that whole kind of over the top country music kind of patriotism. But I think in the 80s, if we'd had these kinds of stories, the mainstream media wouldn't be seeing it as their task to downplay and to poo-poo these kinds of stories, and to say, oh, right, yeah, no, this isn't really happening. This isn't really happening. And if it is happening, then they're wrong, because America sucks. But that's the way things are right now. To be, I mean, the left has changed. I've said this before. The left has changed from what it was in the 80s. And I'm not saying that it was necessarily good in the 80s. As a teenager, I was on the left, of course. But it was the left was different. And I'm not going to say that the left left me entirely, but I think in some ways that is true. I understand what people mean when they talk about how the left left me. Because the left was a whole different phenomenon. The left and the right, both in America, were a whole different thing, whole different paradigm. The left was pro free speech. The left was, suspicious of establishment medicine. And now, of course, as we saw in 2020, they want you to slavishly follow the big pharmaceutical companies, or else you're kooky. You're a kooky far rightist. That's how. And I mean, there's so many other ways. I've talked about this before. I don't want to repeat myself too much here. Anyway, I just thought this was something that should be noted, that this is happening, and that, the Atlantic and others just can't enjoy it. They can't just say, yeah, you're right. America's certainly got its charms. You can't just even grudgingly say that. You have to just say, no, this is wrong. It's not really happening. They don't really mean what they're saying. They don't really like, free refills at the restaurant, with all the ice that you could possibly want, and so forth and so on. They don't like being in a pickup truck driving to Hooters through the wilds of Texas, the wide open spaces of the prairie. They're not really excited about those things. This is just performative. I mean, they have to, they just have to piss on this, or try to piss on this story and make it, it's, the left has to be spoil sports. The left has to be the no fun brigade. It was different. It used to be different. It used to be conservatives who were seen that way, as the party pooper types. Hey, let's not have too much fun. That's how, all the movies portrayed conservatives in the 70s and 80s as fuddy-duddies. Now it's very much the other way around. Anyway, that's all. Just thought I'd log that.